I'm shaking as I write this. My name is Amanda, I'm 34, and I just discovered that my mother-in-law has been orchestrating a calculated campaign to destroy my marriage for the past 2 years. It started when I found the manila envelope slipped under my front door yesterday morning. No return address, just my name written in block letters. Inside were photographs of me entering a hotel with a man who wasn't my husband. Except I'd never been to that hotel. And I'd never met that man in my life. The photos looked completely real. Me in my blue coat from last winter, walking hand in hand with a tall, dark-haired stranger. Me kissing him in what appeared to be a hotel lobby. Me looking back over my shoulder with what the camera captured as a guilty expression, but I knew was just me checking my phone. But I remembered that day, December 15th. I'd been Christmas shopping downtown and had ducked into the Marriott to use their bathroom and grab a coffee. I'd been alone the entire time. My phone buzzed with a text from my husband, Jake. We need to talk when I get home. He'd gotten the same photos. When Jake walked through our door that evening, his face was stone cold. We'd been married for 6 years, together for 8, and I'd never seen him look at me with such contempt. Amanda, I need you to be honest with me. Who is he? I stared at the photographs spread across our kitchen table. Jake, I swear to God, I don't know who this man is. These photos are fake. Fake. He laughed bitterly. Amanda, look at them. That's your coat, your purse, your hair. That's you. It's not me. Or it is me, but not with him. I was alone that day. I went shopping, remember? I bought your sister's Christmas present at Nordstrom. Jake shook his head. I called Nordstrom. You didn't buy anything that day. My blood ran cold. What do you mean you called Nordstrom? I had to know. I've been thinking about this all day, Amanda. The late nights, the secretive phone calls, the way you've been distant lately. What late nights? What phone calls? Jake, you're scaring me. But even as I said it, I realized there had been late nights. Work had been demanding lately, and I'd been staying late to finish projects. And there had been phone calls I'd taken privately, but they were from my sister who was going through a messy divorce and didn't want Jake to know. My mom was right, Jake said quietly. Your mom? What does Patricia have to do with this? Jake pulled out his phone and showed me a text thread with his mother. My heart sank as I read through weeks of messages. She's been acting strange lately, honey. Women know these things. I saw her at lunch with a man downtown. Didn't want to worry you, but maybe you should pay attention. That phone call she took upstairs last week. Did you hear her laughing? She never laughs like that with you anymore. I felt sick. Jake, she's been feeding you lies. My sister has been calling me about her divorce. That's who I was laughing with. And what lunch? When did she see me at lunch with a man? 2 weeks ago. She saw you at Giovanni's with some guy. I wasn't at Giovanni's 2 weeks ago. I was here with you, remember? We watched that documentary about serial killers and ordered Chinese food. Jake paused, uncertainty flickering in his eyes. That's when I realized what was happening. Jake, your mother is lying. She's been planning this. I grabbed my laptop and pulled up my credit card statements, my location history, my work calendar. For every suspicious incident Patricia had reported, I had concrete proof I'd been somewhere else. Look, I said, showing him my phone's location data. December 15th, the day of these photos. I was at Nordstrom from 2 to 3 p.m. Then Starbucks. Then the Marriott bathroom for 5 minutes. Then home. I never left the shopping district. Jake studied the data, his expression shifting from anger to confusion. But the photos are somehow fake or manipulated. Jake, someone is doing this to us. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about Patricia's comments, her convenient sightings, the way she'd been inserting herself into our marriage more and more lately. The next morning, I called my tech-savvy brother Mike. I need a favor. Can you tell if photos have been digitally manipulated? Mike agreed to look at them, and what he found made my stomach drop. Amanda, these are sophisticated deepfakes. Someone took real photos of you and digitally inserted this other man. They also took photos of him with someone else and inserted your face. The quality is incredible. This isn't some amateur job. How expensive would this be? Thousands. Maybe 10 grand for work this good.
I immediately drove to Patricia's house. I'd always tried to have a good relationship with Jake's mother, despite her obvious disapproval of me. She'd never thought I was good enough for her precious son. I knocked on her door, the envelope of photos in my hand. "Amanda, dear." What a surprise. "Jake's not here." "I know. I'm here to talk to you." Patricia's smile faltered slightly. "Oh." I followed her into her pristine living room, the same room where she'd made countless passive-aggressive comments about my cooking, my career, my inability to give her grandchildren yet. "Patricia, I know you hired someone to create these photos." Her face went completely blank. "I don't know what you're talking about. Deepfake technology. Very expensive. The kind of thing someone would need to plan for months." Patricia sat down carefully, her hands folded in her lap. For a moment, she looked like the sweet grandmother everyone thought she was. "Amanda, I think you're having some kind of breakdown."
My brother analyzed the photos. They're fake. Professionally made fakes. And I checked your bank statements. Her face changed completely. "You did what?" "Jake gave me access to the joint account you two share for your medical expenses. $12,000 withdrawn in cash over the past 3 months. Always in amounts just under the reporting threshold." Patricia's mask finally slipped. Her sweet grandmother expression melted away, replaced by pure hatred. "You never deserved him," she said quietly. "Excuse me, my son could have had anyone. Anyone. Beautiful women, successful women, women who could give him children immediately. Instead, he chose you." I stared at her, finally seeing her clearly. "So you decided to destroy our marriage?" I decided to open his eyes. Jake's always been too trusting, too loyal. He needed to see what you really were. What I really was. "Patricia, I've never cheated on Jake. I've never even thought about it." She stood up, her voice getting louder. "You took him away from me. Before you, he called me every day. He came to Sunday dinner every week. He asked my advice on everything. Now he barely calls, and when he does, it's all about you and your feelings and your needs." I felt a chill run down my spine. "You're talking about your adult son, Patricia, not a boyfriend. Don't you dare psychoanalyze me. I raised that boy by myself after his father died. I sacrificed everything for him. Everything. And then you waltzed in with your tight dresses and your fake smile and turned him against his own mother." "I never turned Jake against you. I encouraged him to visit you, to call you." "Lies," she screamed. "You poisoned him against me. So I decided to show him who you really are. A cheating whore who doesn't deserve him." The room fell silent except for her heavy breathing. Patricia seemed to realize what she'd just admitted. "You hired a private investigator to follow me," I said quietly. "You had someone create fake photos of me cheating. You've been lying to Jake for months, feeding him suspicions about me." Patricia's face crumbled. "He was slipping away from me. I was losing my son. So you try to destroy his marriage. The thing that makes him happiest." I pulled out my phone and showed her that I'd been recording our conversation. "Patricia, Jake's going to hear every word of this. And then you're going to explain to him exactly what you did and why. And then you're going to apologize to both of us and get therapy." Her face went white. "Amanda, please. He'll never forgive me. You should have thought about that before you tried to ruin our lives." I left Patricia crying in her living room and drove straight to Jake's office. He listened to the recording with growing horror and rage. "My own mother," he kept saying. "My own mother tried to destroy us." That evening, Jake confronted Patricia while I waited in the car. I could hear the shouting from the driveway. When Jake came back out, his face was red and his hands were shaking. She admitted everything. The PI, the photos, the lies. All of it. "What did you tell her?" "That she's not welcome in our lives until she gets serious professional help. And that if she ever contacts you or spreads these photos to anyone, I'll file charges for harassment and fraud." 6 months later, Patricia is in therapy and has sent me a handwritten apology letter. Jake and I are in couples counseling, working through the trust issues her campaign created. We're stronger now, but the damage she did to our marriage will take years to fully heal. The scariest part? If my brother hadn't been able to prove the photos were fake, if I hadn't thought to check her bank records, she might have succeeded. She almost destroyed our marriage with nothing but lies, manipulation, and a mother's twisted jealousy.